All right, guys, so what I'm going to go over in this document with you is how to use organic content and an efficient method of making organic content to continue to make your ads more profitable. What ends up happening is if you don't run organic content at the same time as ads, your CAC goes through the roof. Your CAC is your cost to acquire a client. Social Sales, has really suffered from this at stages of business. Right now, we're going through a stage where we have been so fixated on ads and let our organic content go, which is something we used to really pride ourselves on, that our cost to acquire a client is going up, even though our ads are fantastic and our funnels are good. Okay. So it's just something you can't escape. You have to post organic too. Now, naturally, when you're learning a new skill like ads, you can be short of time and effort and it becomes draining, and you need to find a way to still make the organic content whilst also having time to figure out how to do ads properly, which is what we're helping you with. Okay, this is the way to do it. This is the way that everybody's going, and if you play this role, it will serve you really well. Now, some just fundamental truisms are that organic content pieces last forever. Okay, as long as you don't delete them, of course. Ads don't. You turn ads off, they're no longer useful to you. Whereas organic content is useful, it stays out there, people watch it. Remember that people support in silence. So if you're posting organic content, you're not getting many views or comments, it's okay. Because if you're running ads at the same time and you are getting leads, you can bet your bottom dollar that they are going to be going to your organic profile, watching your content and seeing what they think of you. And ultimately, if they like you, then they need to trust you next, which is what we're going to go into this document now. Cool. So the efficient way to do it is to film everything long form, just like I am right now. Okay, this would be something that I could post on YouTube if I wanted to, or I could clip the best parts of this down and post it, which would be, as you're going to find out in a minute, a heavy style of content. Okay, the idea is that you are going to do two things. You're going to vlog your day, make behind the scenes content, and you're also going to make educational style content. Now, setting yourself up for success is making educational style content in places like this, in your home office. I've had to shut the bloody curtains behind me, which looks dreadful, like a smackhead's place, but it's because I need the natural light to be hitting me in the face. All right. However, you could also go to places like the desert, or if you're in Dubai like us, or you could go to a mountainous region and you could just set your camera up on a tripod and speak. You'll see loads of great creators do that. The founder of Bloom goes to the mountains somewhere, and the founder of Viral Coach, Daniel Isles, he goes to Alaska where he lives, and he just sets up his camera in the middle of the wilderness and just delivers great educational pieces or founder stories and stuff like that. And then what you can do is you can just clip those down to like the best 30 seconds, best 60 seconds. Maybe let's say you do a 20-minute long form piece. You can clip it down to like 10 short form clips, and you can post it on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the different platforms. And what took you one time to film actually gets you like 20, 30 pieces of content. Super effective. So what I want to do in this document with you now is break down the different styles and methods you can use. And I'm also going to give you some prompts that you can use as well. The idea with organic content, when you're only just starting to get consistent with it, is simply just that. Just get consistent with it. If you're trying to create the most viral strategy or the most complex way of creating content, you're not going to do it consistently. Just start off with this. Just start off speaking to camera, being yourself, talking about your expertise, and allow people to like you. Okay, be a likable person. Be the person that your ideal client profile wants you to be. Super important. All right, and then you can also use the heavy hitting styles of content to get your ideal client profile's trust. So let's get into it. I'm not amazing at reading off documents, so I'm just going to go off my own accord, and we'll get to the same place either way. So the two formats, as I discussed, are day in the life and the behind the scenes. That's what I would describe as light. Now you might think, who the fuck wants to see my day, right? But they do. What people like to do and why they go onto Instagram or Facebook or wherever is for what? It's to be entertained. They are looking for an escape, right? So that's why when you're always posting heavy hitting bottom of funnel content styles of content, people are bored of it and are just like swipe. We have done that. We've been like, if we're going to put a unit of effort into a piece of content, it goddamn well makes a sale. So therefore it has to be a sales-based piece of content. Wrong, it doesn't. It has to serve one of three functions. It has to be the top of funnel to bring people in and engage them. It has to be the middle of funnel, which will nurture and warm them up, or bottom of funnel, which gets them to take an action, click onto your profile, click onto your link and take you to their VSL funnel. Click onto your mini course, comment, DM, whatever it is, right? That's to serve one of three purposes. So day in the life stuff, where, for example, I'll talk you through one of my day in the lives so you can see how I make it relevant to my business. So naturally, I want people to see me as super professional and super competent. Think about it this way. For coaches and consultants, often people try and go down the looking rich route, okay? Me and Hal don't want to do that because we aren't rich. We have a fantastic business and we make great money, but we're not millionaires yet, right? So, and even then, like, I don't even think that's even worth discussing. But we don't want to come across as that and look scammy and fake because we aren't, and we want people to see us as real people, okay, and trust and like us. So instead, what me and Hal try and do is we try and show maximum competence. I'm going to draw a parallel for you here. When you see Elon Musk in a room with someone like Harry Gunter, the guy who's always on Instagram. I don't know the kid, so I'm not going to diss him. But the kid's got an Aventador. He's got a Lamborghini. He's obviously doing well, right? Got loads of money. Cool. And you see Elon Musk in the same room with no watch on, plain t-shirt, pair of jeans, but you know the guy is proper switched on. Who'd you rate more? The competent guy. It's the competent guy that you rate more. So that's what we're trying to show in our content, is that we're super competent people. We're on the ball, we're switched on. You should trust us with your money to deliver the service, because not only are we experts in what we do, but we also conduct our personal lives in the same manner. We're up for work before anyone else is at 5:30 in the morning. And you might think, whenever. That's important to me because I like to make sure I get my stuff in order in the day so that I can deliver a great service to you guys. You'll notice if you work with me, when you're working on ads specifically or offer work, very rarely do I let it go over 24 hours without giving you a response, and I'll reply to it immediately. Why? Because I'm up early, I've prepared for my day, and I have Slack open all the time on my thing, so I'm always looking at it unless I'm in deep work, right? So I will make a piece of day in the life or behind the scenes content where I'm literally going around that process and I'm talking about that. You will watch that as a prospect and go, I rate that. The last mentor I had took 48, 72 hours to reply to me. So I'm going to, this is quite interesting. See? So there's a belief shift that has been made there, which is that socials to sales, or in particular, Kenny, who I work with in the fulfillment, cares about his clients. So this is the sort of stuff you want to be thinking, is not who gives a shit that I'm eating cereal in the morning. It's more so, what is the underlying message of what I'm doing? If I'm getting up early, I'm training in the morning, I'm hydrating, taking my supplements, I'm at my desk, I'm saying my morning prayer, journaling, having my team meeting, being a super professional, what's that say about how I operate as a businessman? What's that say about how I operate as a partner with you in your business? It says great things. So I'm going to show it, right? And I'm going to get people to like and trust in me as a person. So that's why the day in the life and the behind the scenes content is super important. You can't miss on that. Then you've got your piece to cameras heavy. Now, guys, remember, this is a surface level strategy. I'm not trying to teach you to be the next Nick Setting here. I'm trying to teach you to go from naught, not posting at all, to posting. I'm posting in the right order and the right way, okay? Then you can start to dial in things like my specific messaging, how I look on camera, the clothes that I wear, the way that I speak, how I set my scenes up, right? Just going to go into that, a little nuance on that, just so I can give you some more value, is that if you're not an engaging speaker and the things that you say don't captivate your audience, you want to have the camera close up to you like this. So you're focused on what I'm saying. If you are a good speaker and you can captivate your audience, you can be sat back in a nice neutral setting with your legs crossed or whatever, like Nick does, and you can speak to camera like this. And people also will be engaged in you in that way. So you've got to know your own strengths, okay? Now, that was just a little tangent, but back into what we're doing now. 2 filming days a month, can get you a month's worth of content. So you could do 1 filming day, which is a vlog, and 1 filming day, which is where you do a couple of piece to cameras, heavy, like spend an hour or so delivering some educational content. To put it into context, how seriously we are taking this now as a business, we've got 2 videographers in this business. We've got one in the UK who services all the Done For You clients, which, by the way, guys, if you guys want to move on to Done For You, where we come out, we write all the content for you every month. We film it all, we edit it all, we monitor your ad accounts for you. You just basically turn up on the film day and close all your leads. We also work on your sales as well, and you can just reach out to me and Hal personally. We can talk about that. But we have a videographer who does that in the UK. He also edits our content for us. And we've just hired a videographer to be with us in Dubai 3 or 4 times a week, just following us around, just capturing raw moments between me and Hal. Why? Because we've absolutely nuked our brand equity. by trying to sell all the time. I'm just being raw and real with you here, guys. We've nuked it. I've built massive followings on social media with no ads at all, purely from just being myself and showing my relationship with my girlfriend and, doing property adventures and stuff like that. And I had people stopping me in airports saying they absolutely loved myself and Lauren. That's crazy. They don't know us. They think they know us, right? And the reason is because we were smashing the organic content. So me and Hal are so aware of that, and we really want to drive our cost to acquire a client down, that this is what we're focusing on now. Our ads are running amazingly because why? We follow the systems that we teach to you, and we don't waver from that. Okay, now it's a time to reduce the CAC, make a really calculated decision, and start spreading more content of us across the internet. So that's why we're doing that. So I'm going through this pretty slow, but I want to make sure you get absolute maximum value out of this. But remember, if you want to just have a chat with me, you can reach out to us in Slack and we can have a conversation, no problem. Why you need organic content with ads, we spoke about this. Ads alone equals your CAC will climb every month and it'll pinch your margins to sum it all up. You remove a trust layer. People are less warm to you. Now what happens is this. When you're smashing organic content, you have a public presence and people see an ad of you. It takes less ads for someone to book in a call or do a conversion on the ad, whether it's like fill in the form or book a call or whatever it is that you've chosen to do. Okay, it takes less ads to do that, therefore less ad spend. When you don't do that, people need to see more ads of you because they need to be warmer to you before they convert, therefore more ad spend. It's just really simple maths, guys. Your margins shrink, I've just said that, and you become dependent on paid. Don't become dependent on paid. Use paid and organic as like the best brother and sister combo who completely agree on politics at Christmas dinner. Yeah, that's how you want to use it. Organic content equals the compound asset. The clips live forever, as I said before, and ads die when you turn them off. So guys, start making organic content as of today. Literally schedule out 30, 40 minutes after you've gone through this work with me to just get a setup like this, and yet it fucking costs money. Do you know what? Like we used to say to people, me and Hal used to argue between each other and go, I don't want to ask the clients to spend money on content equipment or anything like that because we just spent money on our program. And I agree with him, and I did agree with him at the time. And then my thoughts started to change, and I was like, well, hang on a second. If a mentor gave me that advice, I'd be fucking livid. Because I want the advice that's going to move my business forward. Investing in your content and your setup is essential for that to happen. So that's the advice I give to clients now. If you've got no content light, buy one. If you've got no decent iPhone, buy one, or buy a camera and a decent lens. Buy an arm that can go off your desk and sit nicely like this. So whenever you want to make content, you just go play and deliver. Buy a decent mic so the audio is good. Invest in your content, invest in your business. Because if you don't, you'll make less money. It's facts. So it's just about where your priorities lie. And if money is tight, then you do what you can with natural lighting and your own iPhone, and you pump out loads of volume, and you do your best to make these sales, and you communicate with us in the Slack channel, and you track your numbers, and you work with us on your ads, and you try and get better at sales. Business is hard, right? No newsflash to everyone. Your efforts will be why you are where you are. We're trying to direct your efforts in the correct place, which is what this is. Cool. So 2 lanes of content, 60% light, 40% heavy. This is not gospel, right? There is no secret formula. This is just the best step forward. And I'll tell you why I've positioned it as this. People have to like you first before they trust you, which is why 60% of your content should just be light-based content. Day in the life stuff, behind the scenes stuff, your personal stories as a founder. For example, I'll give you a quick story right now. Back in 2024, when we just started this business, my other business was failing a little bit, and I was in the middle of a property development myself, so I let my other business go to because my time was taken up by the property development. Whether it was a good move or not, I don't know. And I didn't have that much money personally because I was heavily invested in this property project, and me and Hal needed guidance on our coaching business because we were sort of at a crossroads. We were doing 10 grand a month, but we were paying out on boosted posts and we were paying out on appointment setters. And after everything, we were probably left with about 3 grand each. So we weren't making that much money at that point, but we were really building something great. And we decided we wanted to invest in a mentor. I personally, in my bank account, had like 400 quid, something like that. No, I didn't. Sorry, I had £4,000 in my bank account. And the mentorship was like 8K. And me and Hal split it at the time. And it was everything I had. I went all in on this, okay? And a month later, we made 40K. We went from 10K to 40K within 4 weeks from implementing the things that we were given by that mentor. I will never regret that moment. I will never regret spending money on my business. And from betting on myself, I put myself in a great position. There's an example of a founder story, right? It allows you to sit yourself in my position where I had no money. I either kept it to myself or I betted on myself and I decided to bet on myself. And I guarantee the situations where you've been faced with a proposition to either bet on yourself or play the safe route. For example, like joining this program, you could have played the safe route and not spent the money, but you've decided to. You've bet on yourself and your business. So you find points of resonance and stories that you've had over your time that are going to allow people to buy into you. That's an example of like content. Now, if you use your noggin, you'll realize that I didn't have to film that whilst I was buying a Rolex or driving a Ferrari. I could just film that here now as I'm speaking. It would work. Okay. Or you can put that extra effort in and you can go to a nice forest and take a little deck chair with you, set up your camera, your mic, and deliver a nice story piece. This is not hard. It just takes a little bit of effort. And yeah, you might sit there and go, what am I saying? Oh, come on, Ken, come on. Everyone does that when they make content, but it doesn't matter. It's just having a go, right? And actually what you could do is you could clip up those bits and post that and say, me try my best to create content, wanted to bloody do myself in afterwards, whatever. That's a bit dark, but you can just make content out of anything. And I had a friend say to me the other day, we were discussing content. He's a super successful guy. And he was like, when you don't have something to make content about, it seems like you can just make content for the sake of making content. And we both paused and we were like, maybe that is the point, is always just to create content regardless if there's nothing to create content about, and just be the most relevant person in the room, providing the most value at every moment possible. And if you're not providing value, you're making people like you. What a formula. Cool. So I'll give you this document anyway so you can read through it, but day in the life moments, behind the scenes, personal stories, trends, reactions, family, dog, hobbies, whatever, quick observations, right? Like, for example, let's say in my space, Alex Hormozy's just dropped a massive opinion on something. I could give my take on it, and I'm given an experience that I've had in business that was tumultuous or fantastic or whatever I want to do, that I think is going to find a point of resonance with my audience. That's how you do that. Then you have heavy hitting content pieces, which is to deliver authority and drive sales. So you've built your like and trust. You built your like here, and this is to build your trust. Okay. Contrarian takes, client case study results, tactical breakdowns, myth busting, polarizing opinions, and frameworks that you use. Guys, it's not difficult. You should all be able to have the critical thinking to not want this to be done for you, and for you to go in and go, okay, a correct contrarian take. What is it that I think about X that most people don't think? Or what about this case study that I went through where I took this client from X to Y, and I could perhaps have a screen recording of their testimonial where I'm commenting on the testimonial on the other side of the screen and pressing play and pause and then discussing what happened for their project. Just like thinking outside the box on how the creative's going to look and what's going to be inside it from the context of your mouth and the written stuff. Cool. So the two filming formats, day in the life, fine, piece to cameras. Now we spoke about this. Day in the life is more like you can use your phone, like, hey guys, literally just going to go to the gym this morning. I've already taken my supplements. It's really important to me that I take X, Y, and Z because I need to have the vitamin A. I've got a bit of a deficiency in this. I've noticed my sleep hasn't been great. And that's really upsetting me because in the morning, I like to get my client work done quite quickly. And when I'm losing up, it's so easy. It's so easy. You just have to do it, right? And you might feel like a bit of a tit at first, but just get it done and move your business forward. That's what matters at the end of the day, right? And then the piece to cameras is what we discussed before, where you get yourself a decent setup, buy yourself a monitor, the 250 quid, not going to break the bank. Buy yourself a 30 quid light that sits on top of it. Let me see if I can show you mine. So like, if I can just turn this, light, got the camera, laptop, monitor, keyboard, like I've got my setup nice because I want to make the barriers to creating content as easy as possible for me. Cool. So cadence, again, this is just, it's if you can post more than this and you can make more than these, do it. If you can't, it's the bare minimum. One day in the life, one piece to camera, edit it on CapCut or on Instagram Reels, but I probably just edit on CapCut, to be honest with you. It's easier on your laptop. Learn how to use that. Watch YouTube on that. It's super easy. Okay. So now we've discussed what it is you need to actually go and record. Now I want to give you some methods and tools to make it easier to think about what you need to go and record specifically and how to get more context. Now, if you're not using AI properly, what are you doing? Don't get left behind. And do you know what I absolutely detest is people who go, I'm not a tech person. And I know most of you can sit there and go, well, I'm not a tech expert. It's not good enough to not try. YouTube, how to do. All you've got to do is sit there and fucking watch the YouTube and go onto AI and figure it out. Like, it's not good enough just to, it's like, it's a bit of a victim, I'm being honest, a bit of a victim mentality. To create a project on Claude or ChatGPT, so easy. To find out how to do that, or you could just ask ChatGPT, or you can go on YouTube and type in how to make a project on Claude. Or if you're not taking advice or guidance from me and you think you could be using AI better, just go on YouTube and say, how can I use AI better as a health consultant? How can I use AI better in my sales process for my consultancy? There are so many things available to you for you to use that you've just got to put the effort in and do it and prioritize it. Think about it this way. You're probably sitting there going, I can't do that because I'm fulfilling for my clients and I'm so busy and I'm doing it. Mm-mm. You need to separate yourself from the business for at least one morning of the week and work on resources and tools in AI to leverage your time. I could deliver this piece of training to you one by one in Slack. Or instead of delivering it to you one by one, I can create a resource like this where I've used AI to help me build this document. I'm recording the content based off my own expertise. I don't need a script. This is just me talking raw. Okay. And then I send this resource out when anyone asks what they should do about organic content. You guys should be doing the same thing. Okay. So go into Claude or ChatGPT. If you haven't started either, I choose Claude. Yes, you will have to pay for it. That's business. And you're going to load everything into it. Now, if you're working with us, you should have market research, unless you've been sent this document beforehand. If not, you will be doing market research in the future and also offer work, okay? Offer and Ads Bible, it's called. Now, when you're using AI, you want to give AI as much context as possible. Any sales call transcripts, and if you're not taking transcripts, you need to get a note taker, AI note taker, either Fathom or Fireflies on your sales calls. Sales call transcripts, coaching calls, you have to be recording your consultancy calls and your coaching calls. Why? Well, two things. First of all, it's amazing market research for a transcript point of view to get AI to digest it with you and get some key insights as to what content you should be making. But also, you can clip those up and use those as ads or organic content. Golden moments during this resource that I'm making for you, I'm going to clip this up and post it on organic so people can see that actually I want to be a part of Socials for Sales because these guys have the gold, right? So you guys can do the same things. So set up a project in Claude, okay? Or ChatGPT, I would suggest Claude. What to load in there? Screenshots of DMs with prospects, anything people have said to you about the content, anything that's relevant to your niche, you post in there. Your organic content scripts that you've written before, your ad scripts, your VSL script, if you have one, sales call transcripts, coaching call transcripts, objections you hear repeatedly. Like, as I hear objections from people or I listen to coaching calls or have coaching calls with people, you'll often see me writing things down. I'm not writing down where you're up to. I'm writing down things you've said that I find interesting for my offer so I can use them to market to more people. Obviously, I do take notes on clients, but I'm speaking in hyperbole there. But you know what I'm trying to say is you need to be super on it. When I'm speaking to a client, there's other objectives that I've got in my mind, like how does this affect any new clients that we might have coming in? How does this affect any clients that we have that are about to upsell? You have to be thinking about everything at one point, okay? So you've also got market research together, the offer and ads Bible that we've got, okay? That's all stuff that needs to go in there. Anything you've got, absolutely anything, any context on your business, you give to this project, okay? If you put garbage in, you'll get garbage out. Real client voices in equals scarily on brand out. Now, what that means is this: when you do the market research calls and you're asking your clients, okay, so what didn't you want from when you wanted to join us? I didn't want to learn about ad management. What if 10 people of my clients say that to me? What am I going to say in my ads? Don't worry, you're never going to learn ad management. We're going to do the whole thing for you. All you're going to do is show up, film the ads that we write for you, make the set. I'm handling people's objections. What if I do a YouTube video because people are saying that ad manager is difficult and go, why ad manager should take you 5 minutes a day? Super simple, stupid process to make sure your ROAS is holding throughout the day. 5-minute video, 5-minute process, whatever. That's going to be on brand for these people. But I only know that because I've done the research. So you really have to put the effort in for that, guys. Now, I've given you a prompt here. This is a topic generation prompt. Once you've put loads of context into Claude or ChatGPT, Then you can go in and put this prompt in there to just get some simple topics back for you to speak about. Okay? Hook it, like delivering on camera, and this is AI has given me this, so this isn't something I've written here, but hook in 2 seconds, never, hey guys, you can do what you want. Do what you want. Barrier in the way. So let's just delete that piece of shit because I don't agree with that. Okay? One idea per clip. What that means is, what is the one big idea? Like I mentioned a minute ago. The big idea for that piece that I was going to make there was that people are struggling with Ad Manager, so they're looking for a very simple process to go and do it. So I'm just going to deliver a simple process for them. I'm not going to talk about anything else other than making their process of managing their ad account each day take 5 minutes and be super effective. Okay? And make it specific for who? The person I'm trying to serve. That's it. It's just for them. Okay? And it's niche specific, which is why it's strong. Talk fast, cut faster. You don't need to talk fast. Talk at whatever pace you want. So again, that's crap knowledge. Get rid of that. Eyes on the lens. Have I been doing this? Hi guys. The process of today's no. You just speak and be normal. Okay? Bye. Be the friend, not the guru. Great advice. Okay? So being the friend, as in like getting them to like you, is super important. When you are doing the more educational pieces, you want to just come across like I have. Not like, I'm a millionaire, I drive Lamborghinis, it's bright green, it's outside. If you don't follow my 3 simple process, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, hey guys, if you've been really struggling with meta ads recently and you're spending maybe £1,000 to £10,000 a month on ads, but you just cannot for the life of you understand how to manage your ad account, this is a really simple 5-minute process that I'm going to take you through. Just like that. That is how easy it needs to be. Okay? End with a pattern interrupt. Just like talk about making content difficult. One idea, be their friend. Who knew it was that simple? It is. Okay, here's some stuff. So gear, lighting, audio, filming is what I use. I use a camera, which is a ZV-E10. Okay, I use what's called a Sony G lens. If you're struggling to know what that is, I can help you. I use a Rode mic that goes on the top of the camera. Okay, a Pro Plus, and I don't use anything else. I just use an arm that connects to my desk. When I'm out and about, we have a videographer, so it's slightly different for us. But I did traditionally just use my iPhone like this. I'd either use it like this, or I'd use it like this. Or, for long form, you want to film it like this, you can post on YouTube, not like that, like this, yeah? Or if you do want to film a specific short form piece, which isn't what this document's about, you can just set the camera up like that, okay? Or you can just do this, play, and then deliver what you want to say. We do that quite a lot. It's a really good way of doing content, all right? In terms of the iPhone, I actually think that's more like a 14 plus, but just get the 17. Just get the 17 Pro Max. Okay, three lenses on the back. Cool. Then audio, you definitely want a microphone if you're going to be vlogging, but not necessary if you're going to be doing like self-filming like this. All right, if you're going to do self-filming, then you don't need to do that. Cool. Make sure that there's no light behind you. There's light facing you if possible. And when you're out and about with friends, get them to film you, just like, especially other business owners. You just want to get them to film you, okay, and make it simple for yourself. And then the framing is actually the other way around. It's 16:9, which is basically means phone sideways. So that's that. But again, guys, I would just honestly just go to YouTube and say, how do I film vlogs? That's it. It'd be easier just for you to watch that. Non-negotiables, good audio is really important. So yeah, get a mic, or if you haven't got a good phone, I would get a good phone first because they normally have a decent built-in mic. Natural light over ring lights. Ring lights are great for the situation like this. Natural light outside is something to given anyway, so that's not necessarily a non-negotiable. Good lighting is a non-negotiable. Vertical, no, because you're going to self-film, okay? Clean background, yeah, just start filming. Record in 4K. So record in let me see what my phone settings are on. So read the video, and then in the top there, you'll see it says 4K res at the top, somewhere here. So I have mine on 4K res, 60 FPS. It's like usually super smooth. So yeah, so guys, all you need to edit is CapCut, and you need Metricool to post. CapCut so you can edit it down, and Metricool so you can post across all platforms. Then you've got like a light content calendar. I would just take this with a pinch of salt and do whatever feels right to you. But if you really want some structure and framework, this is a good one to do. So on Monday for week one, you've got behind the scenes content, so you can just do like, maybe you're going to meet a client and you're going to film the session with them where you're going to coach them, or you can simply post a coaching call that you've done. Sorry, it's hot in Dubai, Jesus. Then you can do a contrarian piece where you do like a piece to camera like this, where you're having a contrarian point of view on something. Wednesday, nice light day in the life again, like you getting up, maybe you can go and see some family members, some friends, and you're going to do some work in the afternoon, and then you're just going to do it. Like, let's say, for example, you're going to be working on your VSL or your ads, you can just talk about that. That's what you're doing. Say I'm working on these because I'm trying to change my acquisition process and blah, blah, blah. Just literally just speak about what you're doing. Thursday, tactical piece, and Friday, story-based piece. So there's loads of different versions here you can have a go with. Just give this document to Claude as well and say you want to action this content calendar. 7-day action list, again, just to try and keep you on track. Build your AI project, load the context, run the prompt, get the topics you want to do, buy a microphone, and block 90 minutes to film all the pieces. Super simple. Then you can capture a day in the life, 10, 15 phone clips. You can even just capture, if you don't want to speak to camera, just capture the clips of you capture the clips of you doing whatever you're doing on the tripod, eating dinner, having a coffee, working, seeing friends, going to the gym, whatever. And then you can do a voiceover afterwards. People love stuff like that. It's nice and easy to watch. Guys, any questions, just send us a message in Slack and we can go over this together.